How much time do you spend worrying? And how much good does it do you? What a waste of time and emotion. Worrying about something that may never happen is completely useless. Worrying about something that might actually happen, well, that's worse, because what happens is you can't properly think about a good solution to the issue. So, here are 5 things that you can do right now to stop worrying. Step 1, take a deep breath. Listen, I know that sounds really simple, but it is incredibly important. When we're panicking, when we're stressed, we start to breathe in a shallow manner. Our heart rate goes up and the oxygen can't get to our brain. Chemicals are released and it stops us thinking clearly. So we're going to slow it right down. I want you to breathe in for a count of about 5 or 6 in through the nose. Then I want you to hold it for 5, 6, maybe 7. Then breathe out to around about the same amount of time. Now, if you're feeling stressed right now and a little bit panicky, pause the video and give it a go. Pause it now. Okay, so now we've done that once or twice, we're starting to lower our heart rate, we're feeling a little bit more calm, and we can move on to step 2. Step 2, do something you feel sure of, something you feel confident about. One of the worst things about worrying is that feeling of feeling out of control. So it's really good for your brain to do something that it feels in control of. So pick something simple. I don't know, read a book, do the dishes, any small task that you feel certain about. Once you get into that rhythm, you can focus on that task and then it shelves the thing you're worrying about for a little bit of time. Step 3. Write your worry down. All of it, all of them. The problem when we're worrying is we start to add to it, and this and that, but what about this and what about that? And it becomes overwhelming. When we start to write it down and we have a look at it, we start to realize maybe it's not as big an issue. Maybe there aren't as many issues as we seem to have thought in our head. So write them down, stop the overwhelm, and then after that, you can write down all the pluses and all the good stuff, maybe all of your strengths, just for fun. Even it out. Step 4, repeat a confident mantra. Now, what I mean by that is a short phrase or saying that focuses you on something good. Maybe one of your strengths, maybe a bright, hopeful future. Whatever it is, it focuses you forward. A couple of important points here is one is the words you're using are the things that generate the pictures and therefore the emotion. So if you're focusing those words on something good, you can't be focusing on something that makes you worry. It's also important to note that we can only think one conscious thought at a time. And if we're thinking of one thing, we can't be thinking of another. I know it feels like we focus on lots of things, but that's because we think very quickly. So repetition is important with this one. The same thing over and over again. Now you've got to find the mantra that really, really works for you. But just to give you an idea, sort of ones that work for me are things like, well, if that happens, I can handle it. Or I'm stronger than I think I am. Or just simply, do you know what? Everything else in my life I've managed to get through. I'm gonna get through this. It needs to work for you though. So you find what you need to repeat. So repeat a confident mantra. Step 5, accept the parts of the situation that you can't control. Every situation that we're in has parts that we can do something about and parts we can't control. But when we're worrying, it all gets mixed up together. So what we need to do is separate those two. Acceptance is a really important part of getting rid of worry and accepting the world and the reality as it is. So for instance, we might be worrying about what somebody might think, and we can't control what somebody else might think. So how we approach that situation is to split things into 2 areas. This is the thing I've decided I'm going to say to that person, and then it's going to be up to them how they choose to think about it or decide to feel about it. We really need to worry only or think about only the things we can control and forget the rest. So there we are, my 5 top tips to how to stop worrying. Things that you can do right now. So if you've been doing that along with the video, I hope that's really, really helped. If you're not worrying necessarily at the moment, just make a note of them for when you might be. And remember, worrying just doesn't help. It'll be okay.